What's going on? Alan Dragu here, El Copygo, and in today's video, we are going to be tier ranking 21 copywriting books that I have personally read and studied over the last 5 years in my copywriting journey. And we're going to break down which are the best ones all the way to which are the worst ones that you should avoid. And just a heads up, I'm going to link every single book in the description below. And remember, this is my opinion. So if you don't resonate with my opinion, I don't care. It's fine. Like, whatever. And if there's a book that I don't mention in today's video, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know. I may or may have not read it, so I'm happy to give you my opinion on it. But let's dive into the video. Actually, before we dive into the video, I do have a gift that if this gift were on this 21 tier list, my 63 copywriting cash cow tips, that's right, I'm talking about copywriting catalyst, it would be S tier, complete S tier, baby. This is one of the cream of the crop things that I put thousands of hours of study and dissection to put together for you absolutely free. So if you hit the link in the description below, it's gratis, okay? It doesn't cost you $1, but it will make you mucho dolaro. So go ahead, put your email in below. I'll gift it to you for free. Okay, let's wrap that up. Back into the video. Okay, diving in. Let's take a look at this list, all right? We got 21 bangers, or are they bangers? Okay, we don't know yet. All right, let's dive in. Let's dive in with the first book. I think this is a David Garfinkel book, and it is Advertising Headlines That Will Make You Rich. I'm going to put this one on B tier. Okay, solid B. And by the way, B isn't bad. B is bueno, okay? That's what B stands for, all right? So bueno, I think this is a really good book, especially for beginners, all right? And the reason that I really like this book is because it breaks down headlines and formulas into really digestible, I hate to say templates, but basically like templates, like how they work, why they work. And it's just a really good breakdown of headlines, which ding, ding, if you've been in copywriting for more than 2 seconds, you know that headlines are by far one of the most important things that you could possibly have a skill set for in writing copy. If you don't get this right, you ain't gonna get much else right, all right? So this is a really good book for beginners. The reason I wouldn't put it in an A or an S tier, the headlines that he breaks down and the templates and the formulas that he uses are pretty canned, i.e. like I wouldn't use them as my first go-to headlines because they're not unique and they've been used so many times that, you know, you could kind of tell it's a template, it's a formula. Everybody else has used it a million times. And so it's just not my go-to if I'm coming up with something unique, a different angle. But if I'm in a crunch, I'm in a rush, and I need something that I know will work, that's a great book to start with. So solid bueno, okay? Solid bueno. The next book is Great Leads, okay? Great Leads, already so fast. I'm actually gonna put that in the S tier. And that S tier is just top cream of the crop, just the sirloin steak, right? That's what a sirloin steak of it, right? The reason I'm throwing Great Leads into that top tier echelon is because one of the other books on this list, Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz, breaks down the market awareness, market sophistication, right? Funnels, formulas, frameworks, whatever you want to call it. Well, I think Great Leads actually takes that market awareness and market sophistication and makes it even more accessible, simple, digestible, just the way that the two guys that wrote it explain it and walk you through it. It's basically like how to write headlines and intro paragraphs, which are the most important parts of writing any kind of copy, on steroids. I wish I would have read this book way earlier on in my copywriting journey. I cannot recommend this enough. And candidly, it does such a good job breaking down the breakthrough advertising methods for like $15, right? Like you can get this on Kindle for like $15, and breakthrough advertising is $125. So a total S tier for me, a must read for every single copywriter. All right, the next book is Copywriting. I don't know who wrote this book. I don't remember the name of the author, but to me, this is our first D. No, yeah, this one is a dud. Okay, this one is a dud. The reason I don't really like this book, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, is because as the subtitle, what does the subtitle say? Successful writing for design, advertising, and marketing. Right. So what they're telling you is we don't have a string of direct response copy in our bones. Okay. This is more of like sexy, cool, clever copy that we want to put on billboards and magazines, and it ain't good. Yeah, it's basically just a really well-designed book with a bunch of pictures, images, and taglines. It's more like tagline writing more than copywriting. They're trying to get you with these sexy, cool taglines, and it's not copy. At least it's not pure, true, direct response copy, and that's the only real copy. Okay, let's be honest. All right, that's the only real copy. So that's a total D tier for me. I barely made it through that whole book. I was kind of hoping that I would be pleasantly surprised, but I was not. So I would continue to avoid that one. All right, the next one, Quickstart Copywriting by Clayton Makepeace. That goes straight into the S tier. Clayton Makepeace does the works with this. And candidly, this is not a book, but it's in book format, so I want to keep it in here. It is a $1,500 course that you have to buy through like Gary Halpert's site. Again, I'll link the description and below, but it's worth every penny of $1,500. It's like 2,000 pages in a binder, and it has sales letters, and it breaks down everything. It is literally the A to Z Bible of everything you need to know about true direct response copywriting. In fact, if there was one thing that I would keep on this list and I wiped the other 20 things, it's Quickstart Copywriting by Clayton Makepeace. I truly have not experienced any courses or books more depthy and self-explanatory and just so helpful. Well, it's not self-explanatory, but you get what I'm saying. It's just so helpful in all aspects. I continue to go back to it for offer creation, headlines, body copy, structure. It's a true direct response. 11 out of 10 for me. Cannot recommend it enough. Complete S tier. Next is the Robert Collier letter book. Some of you guys are going to shoot me for this one. That is the C tier. I'm putting that in the caca tier. Okay. No, it's not absolute trash. Here's the good thing that the Robert Collier letter book does do. It is true direct response. Okay. It is true direct response. It has great concepts in it. But candidly, it is so outdated. I think the book is like 110 years old, is 1910 or 1920, whenever it was written, I think 1920. It is so visibly outdated that even as they're like in the offers, like I don't even understand the offers half the time because I'm like, is this a good offer? Is this a bad offer? The way they wrote the letters, it's just, and it's so dry and dense, and you really got to go through a lot of pages. Now, maybe I'm just too dumb. Maybe it went way over my head and I was like, you know, like it just did not resonate with me. So that could be on me. Some of you guys, some of the legends are like, what? They want to jump through the screen and punch me in the face. But you know what? It's my channel. Build your own freaking YouTube channel. Do your own S tier list and put it on the S tier if you want. But this ain't your channel. Okay, muchacho. But yeah, it's just not great. I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't read it again. Barely made it through the first time. No go for me. The next one I'm going to put... Copy shop, finally a Ben Settle book. All right, I got through 5 or 6 of these before getting a Ben Settle. You guys think I'm gonna put everything S tier for Ben, but I'm not, even though I love Ben. This one is an absolute A tier though. Okay, Copyslacker, complete A tier. Now again, granted, this is a book. Okay, it's right behind me. It is a book. It's like 1,000 pages, but it's also like $1,000. It's literally like $900 or $1,000 from Ben Settle. So not an accessible book. However, it is so chock full of sales letter and copywriting wisdom that I cannot recommend it enough. In fact, not only does Ben break down how he was pumping out sales letters in like a week or 2 weeks, you know, without AI, and they were good and sold, and it's just incredible, but he does commentary across like 50 of his best sales letters in the back. So he'll literally, like, under the line, he'll explain how he got there and how he wrote it. It's basically like $1,000 gets you hours and hours and hours of consulting with Ben Settle and how his mind works in these amazing sales letters. How is that not infinitely more valuable than the money you paid for it, right? So complete A tier for me. The reason it's not S tier is because it is more sales letter, which I feel like is the dark arts of the copywriting world. Not many brands are doing like traditional direct mail sales letters. I wish I could get to do more of them. And so it's just so niche of a topic that it's not broadly applicable to all copywriting. I mean, you can apply it, but again, it's so niche in just the sales letter world that if it was just copy in general, it would totally S tier for me. Now, I know some of you guys are already punching through the screen on that, but again, my opinions were not. All right. let's keep going. The next one is the Boron Letters. Where are my copywriting folk, you guys? Is it S tier? Am I one of those guys? Is it D tier? Am I one of those guys? It is D tier. Oh man, some of you guys, you're like, no, copy goat, I lost all my respect for you. Listen, all right, it is a D tier for me. Now, I want to preface this with, I love Gary Halper. In fact, I paid a guy on Upwork like $200 to collect all the Gary Halper letters for me and put them in chronological order into this like 1,000-page document that I've printed into 2 massive binders in my house. And so I'm a big Gary Halper fan. I love his sales letters. I love his writing styles. I'm just not a Boron Letters fan, more like the Boring Letters. Okay, you guys have heard that time and time again, where he riffs on and on to his son. It's good. Some of it's about eating fruit and doing some road work. And like, you know, you get Ada, I'll teach you Ada. He teaches you some cool market research stuff with the SRDS and just some mindset stuff. But like, it felt like it could have been a blog post, to be honest. It could have been a 2-page blog post and it would have been just as valuable. But, and maybe it was the time I read Boron Letters. By the time I got to Boron Letters, I was like, that's it. I definitely knew all this. And even the way you explained it, you know, I've heard it said better. So not a big fan, not a big fan. Wouldn't be my first go-to. I think it's a classic read. You could totally read it, but not my thing. All right, Crackerjack Selling Secrets by Ben Settle. I'm going to put this in the A tier, okay? Again, Ben is an A for me. One, the writing style is awesome, super fun, really lighthearted. I love the chapters. Okay, so the chapters are really short. He's got like 100 selling secrets in here that could be copywriting, business, marketing, whatever it is. But overall, I would apply it to copy. And the chapters are just so digestible. The book is so short. There's so much pound for pound wisdom in the book that I almost feel like I could read it 8 times and still be like, oh man, that's excellent. Oh, that's fantastic. You could read it in an afternoon and just be covered with Ben Settle gems. An enjoyable read, great storytelling, a lot of fun, total A tier. It's not S tier for me just because it doesn't hit that echelon of excellence, but well, I mean, it is excellent, but you know what I'm saying. Like there's just a tier, that sirloin tier, you know what I'm talking about? But total A tier, highly recommend it. All right. Copywriting Secrets, Kickass Copywriting, John Carlton, absolute S tier. This is one of the first copywriting books I read, and it's not expensive. It's like $50. It's a course, and honestly, it just opened up my entire world of copywriting, which is so funny because I remember he mentioned in a podcast, he like pumped it out in like 2 weeks. He just needed something to sell. He's like, I just need something to sell. And he like wrote it, launched it, and it's been one of the most incredible courses I've ever read. Just his philosophy, his approach, his storytelling. He's got a chapter in the end where he just gives some life philosophy, and it just warms my heart too. And just the copywriting concepts. It's what I thought the Boron Letters would be, but it wasn't. And John Carlton absolutely smashed it out of the park. So total S tier. Everybody must read, especially if you're writing sales letters. If you're writing sales letters, he is the GOAT. Through this Kickass Copywriting. So highly recommend it. Very good copy by my friend Eddie Schleiner. That is an A. That is a total A in my book. What I really loved about this book is it's as if like Seth Godin and Austin Kleon had a baby and it was Eddie Schleiner, and then Eddie Schleiner went into the copywriting world and wrote this book. The chapters are short. The storytelling's amazing. There's like 230 concepts, right? Copywriting concepts that are just gems of the gem, right? Total A tier. It's an absolutely fun read. The only caveat to this is that would have made it S tier is to me, it doesn't build on top of each other, right? Like the concepts are more randomized, right? Where it's not like fundamentals A to Z. It is more random, but it's a lot of concepts all at once. So you'll pick up a lot of stuff, but then you really got to piecemeal it together yourself in what that looks like, which is totally fine. It's a great book, but overall, if it had built on top of itself, I think it would have been a total S tier. But overall, one of the best modern day copywriting books I have ever read. Highly recommend. All right, Scientific Advertising. Claude Hopkins, the Godfather. Do not disrespect Claudie, man, come on over here. In fact, did you know that Claude the AI was named after Claude Hopkins? That's a lie. I don't even know why I said that. That's a complete lie. All right, I'm gonna put this in the B category. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna shoot me. Listen, I love scientific advertising. I don't think it's outdated, where as opposed there's like a book on here earlier. Yeah, the Robert Collier book, which is slightly older than the Claude Hopkins book, but the Claude Hopkins book is like 1930s, but it doesn't feel like it's in the 1930s. He actually does such a good job maintaining the overall concept and timeliness of the book itself. It's just super well written. Concept is clean. Even David Ogilvy was like, everybody must read scientific advertising 7 times before they decide to write an ad for me. Gary Bencivenga swears by it. Here's the reason why I put it in the B tier, is because I actually philosophically disagree with Claude Hopkins on his approach to direct response copywriting. He is hardcore against entertainment in advertising. He is like, everything is sales, like we're not selling, we're persuading, like all this stuff. But in today's modern world, I really feel like you can, intertwine entertainment into selling. I do it on my email list every single day and it works like bananas. So candidly, we just have a totally different approach on that. But I do like taking the scientific advertising principles and using data to measure what works and what doesn't work. All right, the next book, we got another David Garfinkel in here, and we are going to do breakthrough copywriting. That, to me, I'm gonna put that's another B. That's another bueno. It's a good book, right? Not A tier, not S tier, but it is B tier. What I like about breakthrough copywriting is it's really short. It's like 100 pages or less. Very fundamental, very entry level. Solid $12 on Amazon. Good basics. He even has a lot of the headline, like advertising headlines that will make you rich. He has a lot of those formulas in breakthrough copywriting. The concepts are really simple. I think it's a great entry level book. Nothing in that book like really blows my mind by any means, right? It's very entry level, which is fine, because everybody does have to get back to the fundamentals, back to the basics, and it is a good refresher. It's an easy read, it's very quick, but at the same time, I'm always looking for different angles, different storytelling, different ways of thinking about copywriting that I hadn't thought about before. And I think I just read this book too late, where I was expecting a little bit more. I was pretty far along in my copywriting journey. All right, next book, Ben Settle. This is BizWorld. Okay, BizWorld. Let me see, where am I gonna put this one? I'm gonna give this one a C. Oh, don't shoot me. I know. Listen, I love Ben. I love the concept of world building. In fact, what this book did for me, if anything, is it got me excited about his real course that's gonna be coming out on world building. So this is Ben's BizWorld, like lead magnet type Amazon book. It's like $15. On Amazon, and it introduces the concept of world building inside of copywriting, which I think is absolutely genius. The concept is pure genius. I've taken so much and actually applied it to my business. But candidly, by the time I read this book, I had pretty much digested all of the same concepts he's talked about, but in his daily emails, because I like religiously read his daily emails. And a lot of the book is transcript, where it's like a conversation between him and his friends, and there's a lot of gems in there, but there's just a lot of riffraff. Ben, he likes to riff a lot, and he's doing that. And it just took a lot of that commentary to dig through. A lot of it was very repetitive, which he warns you. He warns you that a lot of it is repetitive. It just wasn't like my best cup of Ben Settle tea, especially when I enjoy his email players so much. I enjoy all his books. I've spent thousands of dollars with Ben. And my expectations are just so high with that one. So not a like killer read for me. Probably wouldn't reread again, but I would definitely buy his world building course when it comes out, because I know every course he's ever put out, long form book, has been just like top tier. So absolutely highly recommend that stuff. All right, the Persuasion Story Code, fantastic. This one is like an underrated book. A lot of people don't know about this one. I'm gonna put this one in the A category, okay? This one, really good. Really good, because it is maybe the only copywriting book that talks about storytelling and persuasion in the same book, right? There are other storytelling books and there's other persuasion books, but very few that actually teach storytelling with copywriting. I think the only other thing I've seen about it is like Daniel Throssell has Email Storyteller, which talks about email storytelling. But I haven't seen anything outside of just like guru storytelling courses that are no good. Absolute trash. Wouldn't recommend. And maybe Storyworthy, but Storyworthy isn't a copywriting book. So Persuasive Story Code, highly underrated, flies under the radar. Highly recommend. A-tier book. Everybody should read it, especially if you're writing email copywriting, because this has really injected a lot of the entertainment and angles and ideas that I use for great storytelling and angles in my daily email. So highly recommend. Copywriting Cribsheets, Ben Settle, another Ben Settle. Obviously, I'm a big Ben Settle fan. This to me is a solid B-tier book. Okay, really solid book. I would actually say good, right? Maybe almost A-tier. But it is Cribsheets, right? It is fundamentals. He's saying that in the thing. And so that's not a knock against the book. It's a short read, short chapters, highly entertaining, a lot of good stuff. It is kind of sporadic all over the place. It's just like it's like a brain dump of copywriting tips and tricks and ideas. So it's not really like A to Z cohesive by any means where it builds on top of each other, where again, that I'm big on that. I'm really big on like something building on top of each other. You unveil one thing that unveils the next thing and it continues to unlock for me. This one's just like a free-for-all tips, and a lot of them are so good. In fact, I continue to use concepts from this book all the time. So very solid read, very fun. If you are a big Ben Settle fan, you will enjoy this one for sure. Highly recommend reading. Ogilvy on advertising. That is straight to the bueno category. You guys don't shoot me, okay? Ogilvy on advertising. I love this book for one core reason, is his big idea approach. There's an entire like chapter or two based on like how he came up with big ideas, which is like Ogilvy's saying, right? Like he came up with the idea of big ideas, which is incredible in its sense. And later, I do think there is an Agora book, the Big Black Agora book, that I think took the David Ogilvy formula and made it better, in my opinion. But overall, this book introduced me to the big idea concept, which was amazing. The reason it's not A or S tier is because there is a lot of just like overarching concepts that, you know, candidly, I don't care for, don't apply necessarily to the world of copywriting today. He talks a lot about like television ads. He talks about like running an agency, which I think is cool if you're a David Ogilvy fan and you're just getting some background. Which, by the way, The King of Madison Avenue is a great book if you're a David Ogilvy fan. I read those at the same time, King of Madison Avenue and Ogilvy on advertising, and it's just great for like getting the background on his life and stuff. But like just great copywriting bangers. This one is a good one to have. Definitely a good one to read. It wouldn't be top of my list, but highly recommend. The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy, absolute A tier. The fact that this book is $15 is insane. You know, it's so funny because the first time I got hired to do a sales letter, I had no idea how to do a sales letter. So I ordered this Dan Kennedy, the Ultimate Sales Letter book, and it got me through those like first 2 or 3 sales letters where I understood the concepts. I thought they were absolutely incredible. Dan Kennedy is one of the most prolific sales letter copywriters in the world. I love his idea of understanding the target market. And in fact, this book really opened up the whole target audience and really mastering the audience as opposed to the writing. I up to that point, I was so focused on the writing and the concepts and the fundamentals of copywriting that I didn't take knowing the market so seriously until I read this book. It really unlocked it for me. So I think it's a personal moment and why I'm rating it so high, but also it's Dan Kennedy. It's like, come on, you know it's good, right? So it's definitely up there for me. Love it, love it, love it. Highly recommend. Definitely grab that one. The Adweek Copywriting Handbook. This one is, come on, you thought I was, heck, this one is S tier all day long. Okay. Think about how when I said, you know, if I had to wipe every single book off this list and I could just leave Quickstart Copywriting. Okay, the Joe Sugarman Adweek Copywriting Handbook is like that for me, but the $15 version instead of the $1,500 version, right? You could go on Amazon, get the Adweek Copywriting Handbook for $15, and you would get everything you need to know copywriting A to Z. you would understand all the fundamentals. You would understand leads, headlines, hooks, emotions, authority, persuasion, right? Structure. You would understand everything you need to know in this one book. It's absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong. It's not the most advanced and in-depth tactics that typically I'm like juicing for. But overall, that book is fundamentally one of the greatest copywriting books ever written. I cannot argue anybody who recommends it. I've bought that book for so many fresh copywriters that have been local here and just know what I do and things like that. I cannot recommend that book enough. Cannot recommend that book enough. Highly, highly, highly say put it in your cart right now. I wish I was getting paid to sell you this book, but I'm not getting paid. I just really think if you've not read that book, you are doing yourself a disservice. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, especially for 15 bucks. Makes no sense. You're literally robbing him blind. A tier, no, not A tier, S tier. Cashvertising, straight to the S tier. Cashvertising, straight to the S tier. In fact, if I were to recommend 2 books for you and only 2 books, Adweek Copywriting Handbook, Cashvertising, you can get both of them for less than 30 bucks. You read Adweek Copywriting Handbook to get the fundamentals, and then you read Cashvertising to really juice up the skills, right? Cashvertising, I feel like he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. It's like 101 tricks just way up his sleeve, absolutely demolishing it. Does such an amazing job of being really tactical, really practical. I cannot tell you how many times I flipped through that book and was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It is literally like a glossary of advertising tricks, copywriting tricks. I cannot recommend it enough. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I have bought a course and there are these slimy gurus who have literally just like copied and pasted Cashvertising into their course. They're like 10 best whatever, and it's just Cashvertising, right? Like I'm not gonna name names, but if you're on my email list, you know. But people do this all the time. They literally just take Cashvertising, put it in their course, and they're like, isn't it so good? We're like, it is good, but you didn't come up with it. So why are you selling it? Okay, muchacho. We're wrapping it up. We got the Copywriter's Handbook, Bob Bly. My guy, Bob Bly, I'm sliding him into the A tier category. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, here's what I really love about this book is this is by far the most versatile copywriting book on this list. So he goes through anything that needs copy. He goes through presentations, websites, meta ads, Google ads, emails, print, direct advertising, mail, billboards. Like he goes through it all. Anything that has words written on it, he's like, here's how to write copy for that. Here's how to write copy for this. Oh, you didn't know you could write copy for this? I'm gonna write copy for that. And that's what he is literally just, if you can write, if you can think about copy, he got it. Okay, he tell you how to do it. All right, that book is genius. Now, the one thing again that I disagree with, and I mentioned this in Scientific Advertising, is Bob Bly is a purist of copywriting, like sales being sales. He doesn't like interjecting the entertainment with it, which I philosophically disagree with because, again, I've done it many times in emails, meta ads, landing pages, where I inject a lot of entertainment and it sells like bananas. But again, Bob Bly has also sold a lot more stuff than I have. So kudos to him. Who am I to say that his stuff doesn't work? Which it does, right? We just fundamentally disagree on that approach. So either way, absolute A. Really highly recommend. Love it, love it, love it. And the last one, the legendary Eugene Schwartz, Breakthrough Advertising. I am going to toss this in S tier, okay? S tier. You know, the only reason Great Leads is in this S tier is because this book exists, okay? Breakthrough Advertising is, I'm not gonna lie, it is a dense, thick read. Okay, it is a slog to get through. And the reason it is a slog to get through is because like every sentence is so freaking potent with marketing and advertising wisdom that I just find myself like highlighting and chewing and thinking. Like I'm just like, oh man, wow, I've never thought of that before. It is just so chock full of incredible wisdom that I don't know how else to explain it. It is definitely a slow read. It is definitely a thick read, and it is not for everybody, okay? It is not for everybody, but he goes through market awareness, market sophistication. He goes through those. He goes through headlines. He goes through audience desires and target marketing. Like he goes through what I would consider is the fundamentals, but at a very advanced level, okay? Which is very hard to do. It's hard to take the basics and talk about them at such an advanced level. So the fact that he's able to merge that is absolutely incredible. I cannot recommend it enough. The only place that you can really get it is through Titans Marketing. My friend Brian Kurtz, Chris Mason, those guys, they have the rights to it. I bought it from them. And when I bought it, I also bought Breakthrough Mastery, which Brian and Chris wrote together to help you digest this book even more because it's so dense and there's so much to learn. It is like the copywriting Bible. Okay, it is like you really have to read this. If you don't read this, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Ben Settle even talks about he's read through it 10, 15 times. He's got notes and ideas and all. Just the concepts are absolutely insane. To not put this on S tier would be an absolute disservice. So overall, wrapping up this video, a lot of great stuff out there. A lot of S's, okay? The sirloins, yes, baby. You got the A's, a lot of awesomes. Got some buenos in there. Okay, you got some C's, you got a couple D's. It is what it is, okay? You got some cacas and some duds, okay? It is what it is. It's not a big deal. Either way, I hope this video was helpful for you. And if it was, please do me a favor. Like the video, leave a comment down below about a book that maybe I left off or an opinion you disagree with. I hope you disagree. You know, I hope you get fired up in the comments because all it does is just juice up my algo and tell YouTube that this video is awesome and it shows it to more people. So yeah, get mad. Leave it in the comments. That would be awesome. I would love it if you got mad in the comments. Or leave me happy comments. That'd be great too. Just leave me comments, likes, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. Again, all the links in the description below. Grab whatever you want. Enjoy it. I do get a kickback on some of the Amazon links. Other ones you're just supporting friends of mine, so I appreciate it. Chat with you next time. El Capigo out. What book is not on this list? What did I miss? What's on my shelf? What is on my shelf? Where's my, oh, you know that one book? That like Copywriting Expert Secrets by, I think it's Jim Edwards or something. It's like the first copywriting book I got. And I like went through like 30 pages and I was like, I don't get it. It just felt so dumb.